Welcome to our Sunday update where we're going to read off those weekly expected moves. We're going to get into those shorter time frames. If you already wanted or you already have gone over the daily time frame with yourself, if you'd like to watch our video on it, we just posted that yesterday. If you would like to look at those daily and weekly time frames, but for today, we will be talking about the SPY cues and volatility. It's Sunday, so I don't want to be working too much. I want to do exactly what I tell you guys to do. Hang out with family today, get reloaded and ready for the week to begin. Get ready to trade really by just revamping, hanging out with family, eating good food. I think that's the important thing. But let's get into the SPY right away. 677.58 to the upside, 660.84 to the downside. Your daily expected moves for Monday, you can see they're really small. 671.33 to the upside and 667.09 to the downside. Now, these levels are going to be pretty important, but what can we really digress from them according to at least the daily expected move? Well, let's start off with the weekly expected move. Not the biggest move in the world, right? Could just be a pullback into higher, could be just squeeze higher to extend the floor. That is definitely possible based on these reactions here. But an overreaction to potentially set up that little head and shoulders to get down to that monthly expected move, very, very possible going on into this week. We noticed that the daily scale had those divergences that we talked about. Thankfully, the cues told us to be aware of what? Trap number 1, trap number 2, but right around here, the cues said be aware for trap number 3, and that looks like where we are for the time being. We do see that the 2-hour chart is still not crossed. Isn't that crazy? We were paying attention to that pretty much from this area forward, seeing if we were going to reject, seeing if we were going to roll, but the 2-hour chart finally, really just sitting here, holding those divergence points, holding them very, very tightly, still holding them though, saying, yes, I would be a potential reversal signal if I would cross down. So this has to go negative. We have to not violate it and things like that. But if the 2-hour would cross down, that would mean that we have a high likelihood that we are seeing a top in this market. And this is trap number 3 confirming. I wanted to be clear about that. The 30-minute chart here for the 2-hour to cross, right? That's something I like to do. I like to utilize the 30-minute to see if there's weakness, to see if that 2-hour confirmation is going to come. All you have is this MACD divergence. You don't really have it on the RSI at the same time. You can see that it kind of violates there. So we could be in a time where we need to go create that divergence point first, right? Leak it out into midweek or something like that. So just be aware that if this curls up into positive territory, what's likely to happen? Test the high, go make a new one. That is how we would either be on our way to that weekly expected move or setting an early trap to get down to the lower one. So I would watch out for that. If we go over to the cues, I'll give you the critical levels and we'll do things a little bit backwards from the 30-minute chart all the way up to potentially the daily chart. 612.77 to the upside, 593.59 to the downside. Once again, this is a 68% zone. If it was a 100% zone, we would all be very rich if I was telling you these zones and they were 100%. Okay, you would be able to make a ton of money. So they are not 100%. They're 68% zones, but that is enough to give you an edge. And so what we notice here is, and something we were talking about with the cues, is they actually do have some divergence points on the RSI, but not the best from the MACD. This is not very clean, so we are looking for a potential move to maybe come and create that divergence point. Maybe we come and create that divergence point. But if the 30-minute does cross up into positive territory, test the high, go make a new one. If we squeeze, then we raise the floor. If we create that divergence point, then I think that would be our sign that we are going to tumble down to the weekly bottom side move. As you look at the 2-hour chart here, this one has technically confirmed. Now, this isn't the best confirmation. This is the struggle of 2-hour charts a little bit. I still follow the confirmations, but the last bar of the day only has 30 minutes. I wanted to put that out there today. That's one of the problems here, so you can take it with a slight grain of salt, but technically this has confirmed on your charts. You would just like to see further confirmation on Monday, so we'll see what happens with that. But you do have 2-hour divergence at these highs. You see the 2-hour divergence on the RSI and MACD at the same time. Now, this is what was telling us that we should watch for trap number 3, right? There was no reversal signal here, and we were saying, okay, so we're probably going to go make that reversal signal, be ready for a trap number 3. Now we have confirmed that. That's telling us that we have a high likelihood to maybe see something dramatic, right? When these daily expected moves, 605.68 to the upside, 600.68 to the downside, when that is a very, very tight range, that means nobody's expecting anything. So if something unexpected happens on those days, you can see a flush down to an area, a little bounce, a flush down to an area, and you can actually be outside of these weekly expected moves talking about a potential bounce very, very soon. So if we do go outside of these weekly expected moves, I will post the 95% levels to Patreon. If you'd like to join Patreon, we are putting out those weekly expected moves today. If you'd like to join, the link is down in the description. And also, if volatility does pick up here, I'm leaving the course on the $100 sale right now. If you would like to check it out for the full technical analysis, I'm not going to talk about it more than that, but it is there in case you struggle in trading in high volatility markets. It is on the discount for you. As we look at the Qs, though, what is this overall signal suggesting? A 2-hour divergence that confirms to the downside. Well, if that's going to happen and this is going to tear down, this is what could tear the daily down. Creating that divergence in the daily time frame on the RSI, very, very important. The RSI, we completely violated this for the Q, so we suggested we needed to go make a new one. We went and made a new one, and then we can really utilize the Qs. Watch if the daily ever does what? Curls up into positive territory. If this is actually going to correct, then we should see the MACD cross through into negative territory and actually go pretty deep. We should actually be able to potentially cross down into negative territory, see some kind of bounce, actually see that given up again. We should see potential divergences from the daily scale if this is a real correction. And you know, I believe that we are correcting soon by about, I think I said about 7 to 14%. I think about 9 to 14%. So that's what I'm really leaning towards. The other thing that's leaning towards that is volatility on the daily. We have good confirmations back to back now. Yes, they're struggling to break through and make new highs, but you're not struggling with all the divergences to actually go positive here. That's a big deal. You're seeing that the weekly is gearing up down here for some kind of move to the upside. You're seeing that as the market goes higher, you're not going down to 1212, suggesting there is no risk, but somebody knows more than you do, and you're scaling up with volatility while we go up. Not necessarily the best sign in the world. And the reason for some of these things are market conditions could be overall changing. And that's where we just mentioned over the weekend the dollar being able to create these potential divergence points that can really send you into a full reversal from the dollar. And you notice in 2025, we've only come down and we're at new all-time highs. So what happens when this starts to go up? Does the market start to back off? Well, if people sell out of stocks, what are they going into? Cash, the dollar. So we'll pay attention to that. But the Qs on the the volatility index, the VIX on the shorter time frames, we can see here that it's in a wonky spot. It's right in that middle. It's very consolidative. I'm sure if I put Bollinger Bands or something like that, we would start to see things very, very tight, right? We're seeing things very tight. As of right now, volatility is saying, yes, I'm curled up in positive territory. I'm ready to go. But we've been in this kind of back and forth time where it's kind of figuring out which way. So an expansive move will come. An expansion type move will come for volatility. And it's highly likely that that will be in the upward direction, but we'll still monitor this, right? If the 2-hour turns down, then we might be squeezing a little bit more. If the 30-minute confirms down first, maybe that's a good hint for it, but we are so tight on these Bollinger Bands. We are so tight, even on the daily, on these Bollinger Bands, that I think we're going to get a pretty vigorous reaction from volatility, and then we'll be talking about dead cat bounces maybe in the next week or so. So I just wanted to put this information out there. I wanted to get you guys some weekly expected moves. I'll kind of, as I'm speaking, click through just so you have the monthly expected moves as well if you still haven't gotten those for October. This is your 68% zone for October. It has spread out a little bit, 690.53 to the upside, 641.83 to the downside for the SPY. For the Qs, I'll leave those levels up there as well. You can pause it on the SPY before. You can get these levels completely for free here on YouTube with my channel if you would like to subscribe. 630.34 to the upside. 570.40 to the downside. Once again, that is a 68% zone with a 32% chance to land outside of it. So those are some critical levels for the month of October. I hope that this video in some way was helpful to you, if not just getting you guys some weekly expected moves. But it does look like for us, we could be sending this down for a weekly pullback for the Qs. And maybe they come down and pull back to 562, but there is a good shot that they're going to pull back deeper, maybe towards 540, even all the way down towards 525. So we have to keep our wits about us, okay? So this video overall, just trying to be helpful for you. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day, and I wish you all the luck in the world trading this week. I hope you guys just have a good one, all right? Peace out.